This is your host, Town Biz, coming out of that east side. Today's video, we gonna try to cover as much ground as possible until I just can't do it anymore. Definitely gonna talk about, today is, Monday, and it's fight week. This is when you will see the return of Vasily Lomachenko versus Jermaine Ortiz. I don't know if any other fights are gonna be coming on, but we're gonna try to cover as much ground as possible. Also, I'm going to discuss the debacle in which what happened with the fight that more than likely we're not ever going to see unless something dramatic happens, and basically just, continue to basically expose, the fake pro-black brigade and continue to call them out on their hypocrisy, you know, and just, continue to state facts, because like I said, I have no emotion tied to this. But yeah, I'm going to talk about some other things, the future of the PBC, some, possibly HBO returning to boxing, just going to try to get a lot of stuff covered. But as you guys know, it's fight week, so we're going to see Vasily Lomachenko versus Jermaine Ortiz. Also on the undercard, Nico Ali Walsh will be fighting, and this fight is going to take place at the Hulu Theater in the NYC at Madison Square Garden. The Hulu Theater is just, it's on 8th Street. It's on the opposite side of Madison Square Garden. But nevertheless, it's gonna be interesting to see how much rust Vasily Lomachenko has due to the fact that he went through some stuff. He was fighting the war in Ukraine and stuff. So it's interesting to see how he looks, because keep in mind, the next big thing is to try to match him up with possibly Devin Haney. But Devin Haney, what's going on, man? But Devin Haney pretty much announced that it looked like he's moving up to 140. And at the end of the day, if he can't make the weight no more, then it is what it is. It is what it is. He should move up, if he can't make the weight no more. But, yeah. I've been trying to get a hold of Bill, to no avail. I ain't been able to get a hold of Bill. I'll try to see, can I get him on here maybe at the end of the week. I'll be talking to Bill, off the record and stuff. And, like I said before, more than likely Team Haney is finished with 135. And as I said before, if Lomachenko wants to fight with Devin Haney, let Lomachenko go up to 140, which Lomachenko has said on many occasions he can't see himself moving up to 140. He doesn't think he's big enough for 140. But, he had a chance to fight Devin Haney, and he elected not to fight Devin Haney. And that's on him. And that's why I was laughing at the fact that Paulie Malignaggi was sitting up there trying to make it look like Devin Haney was ducking Lomachenko, when it was actually the other way around, when he asked to be made franchise champion. Where he asked to be elevated to franchise champion, which everybody still questioning, is that a real belt or not? One minute they saying it is, then the next minute it isn't. So Mauricio Sullivan, he can't make up his mind whether it's a real belt or not. So whatever. So, and Deontay Wilder, they're going to order more than likely him versus Andy Ruiz this week. Deontay Wilder still says he still wants Anthony Joshua. And like I said before, there's still an interest in a fight with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. I would like to see that fight. I know who the favorite would be, but it's funny. Uslik said he was coming to the fight, and he was basically a no-show. So, I mean, what else is new? He talked all that stuff, and then he doesn't show up to the fight. Whatever. So, you know, but anyway, so where should I begin? What direction should I go with this, and how I'm gonna tie this all in together? Um, Basically, behind the scenes, you've been hearing a lot of stuff. You know, um, what's the next move for PBC? You know, um, I talked to a few people, and I'd heard somebody make a phone call, and basically, it was this person was hinting that PBC is having some serious money issues. That PBC is having some money issues, and that's why they can't pay certain fighters what they want and all this kind of stuff. Now, coinciding with a video that the midget made, but I was saying this to begin with, saying that something is coming. There's been a rumor that Richard Schaefer and Tom Brown, I think the owner of I forgot what's the name of that promotional company he owns, that they're trying to sell some of their fighters contracts, because at the end of the day, for the most part, a lot of those PBC fighters, they don't know when they're gonna have a fight date. They don't know when they're fighting. They really don't. So they contracts may get sold. Now, who buys them? That remains a mystery. Would Top Rank pick up some of those contracts? Would Matchroom pick up some of those contracts? Well, we don't know. But it'll be interesting to see if they did. Because at the end of the day, Matchroom got the deal with DAZN. So they have a network, or should I say a streaming service, that can provide pay-per-views if certain fights can get made. And that's always seen to have been the problem over the last 8 years with just trying to get certain fights made. And it's just absurd that you just can't get certain fights made, because you hear just every excuse in the book why you just can't get certain fights made. And it's just crazy. And it's just a bunch of baloney, and it's just a bunch of cap. Now, there's a rumor floating around now. I've heard this from at least 3 people. Don't know how true it is, but I feel like you guys had a right to know. There is a rumor that HBO is considering getting back into boxing, or they are going to get back into boxing. Once again, who will they have deals with? Well, that remains to be seen, because you wonder would they be willing to do business with the PBC, because allegedly they had issues with the PBC. One, they was mad at Floyd Mayweather leaving HBO and then going to Showtime. But then at the end of the day, HBO kind of used to act funny style towards Floyd. Keep in mind, Floyd was their star. Floyd was their money maker. He was their main attraction, and they would constantly let people like Jim Lampley and Larry Merchant disrespect the man. Where Floyd got none of that when he went to Showtime. But every time Larry Merchant interviewed Floyd Mayweather, he had tried to be condescending. He had tried to diss him and stuff. And if you somebody's breadwinner, or you somebody's star to a certain degree, whether you like it or not, you have to be treated like you a star. And they wasn't trying to treat Floyd like he was a star. So that's why that's why he shook the spot and headed to Showtime. And can you blame him? That's just real talk. Can you blame him for going elsewhere when somebody treating you like that? So absolutely not. But yeah, it's just a lot of issues going on, like behind the scenes. Like I keep saying, don't get mad at me, get mad at your people that's leaking out information, that's wondering if they gonna have a job pretty soon. People are wondering if Al Heyman is about to, basically shake the spot. Is he going to leave a lot of his fighters hanging? Is he going to move on to his next endeavor? So there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. But as you guys know, when it comes to Al Heyman, he won't answer no questions. So that's a major problem. That's a major problem. Okay. Let me. Oh boy. So as you guys know, we all know what happened. We all know what happened this past weekend, or going into the weekend, when basically Terrence Crawford announced that he had a plan B when the other fight wasn't able to come to fruition. I just want to bring something to you guys' attention. I just want to call out the double standards with these cornballs. Like I said before, these dudes are quick to attack and disrespect Terrence Crawford. But like I said before, these dudes act like you can't question or say anything wrong about Precious Errol Spence. And I just want to tell you guys, you sadly mistaken if you think I'm finna watch my tongue because some of y'all deal with Errol Spence or whatever the case may be, or you guys are Errol Spence fanatics. That's y'all damn problem, not mine. But let's go back in time a little bit, and I just want to show you how a lot of these cornballs get down. Like I said, the hate Terrence Crawford get come from his own people, from people that look like him, and I just think it's absurd. I think it's crazy. I think it's truly an element of self-hate. The way some of these people went after Terrence Crawford personally. But Lord knows, let you say something about Errol Spence, which I ain't never said nothing personal about Errol Spence. My only criticism of him came pertaining to this fight not get made. Now, I find it mighty strange that Errol Spence is talking about he may fight in December, but they trying to make it look like it was just all so terrible what Terrence Crawford did. But they may not have no choice but to get a fight in December for Errol Spence, due to the fact that the PBC's, at least, network feature is at odds. Yeah, they could possibly go to the zone and somebody else could come out of nowhere, but there's nothing set in stone as of yet. I wouldn't be surprised if PBC go to the zone. You've been hearing about they trying to rebrand it. You've been hearing a lot of things behind the scenes, but one of the most important things you've been hearing is they are going through some issues. They going through some issues, financial issues. Okay. They can't, or they refuse to pay some of the purses for these fighters now. And then it just goes to show you what I was trying to tell people, and a lot of people got an attitude when I was saying that they wasn't doing the numbers that they was reporting. And that's why Terrence Crawford had every right to ask them to open up the books, and everybody act like that was just a travesty. But yet nobody had a problem with, Deontay Wilder asking to see Matchroom's books. So this is nothing out of the ordinary. But like I said, you just got these cornballs that just make up stuff just to try to get views and have their naive followers listening to them. So that's just real talk. Even how this deal got brokered. Well, hey, that remains to be seen. But now all of a sudden you hearing Errol Spence talking about that he is going to move up to 154. He been fighting at that weight class for too long. How convenient. And then if he takes on the fight in December, well, I'm just asking y'all, don't take the bait. Don't go for the okie doke, man. Y'all being played. Y'all being lied to. Y'all been being deceived. Like I said before, for all these idiots that act like they know what the hell is going on, like I keep telling you, it don't take no 5 months to negotiate no fight. They had no intentions on making this fight. It was a stall tactic so Errol Spence can safely move up and wait without taking any damage from Terrence Crawford. And sit up there, move up, wait, and see what Canelo do. That's what's really going on, and that's why people mad, because they don't want to hear the truth. And a lot of these cornballs on here, they want you to lie on your channel. And I'm gonna say this again: I'm not joining or signed up for the Errol Spence Brigade. That ain't my style. I fly solo. That's real talk. And gonna continue to fly solo, because that's what I need to do. That's just real talk. You've been pulling this man's chain for months. What happened is they just mad because Terrence Crawford had a plan B. And that's what it came down to when he basically pulled a move on them. It's so funny, last year when Terrence Crawford was trying to fight Manny Pacquiao, and it looked like the fight was possibly going to happen, and the Manny Pacquiao fight fell through, and you kind of found out that Manny Pacquiao had decided to fight Errol Spence instead, which he wasn't able to fight Errol Spence because Errol Spence sustained some kind of injury. And I saw people making videos laughing at Terrence Crawford. Now, this is, like I said, this is your black people for you. This is your black people. This is your power to the people. Black people making fun of another black man losing out on the opportunity. I want that to sink in right quick. And you know who some of these Negroes is. They was making fun of him. They was laughing and shit. Like I said, this is black. This is your people. They ain't my people, because my people don't conduct themselves like that. But this is your black people for you. They're laughable. And when I say they laughable, they laughable. This is people making videos, making fun of Terrence Crawford losing out on the Manny Pacquiao fight, which it fell through because, well, once again, you had the people that were supposed to put the fight together. They wasn't able to provide funds or show proof of funds and stuff, you know. So it fell through. But then Errol Spence wasn't able to go, and Manny Pacquiao ended up taking a beating at the hands of, it ended up taking a beating at the hands of Ugas. And Ugas pretty much retired Manny Pacquiao. But like I said, go back. This is what these people were doing. And they were laughing. And I just noticed this pattern over the years. It's been a mission and it's been a plot to destroy Terrence Crawford's image and reputation. Like I said, a lot of these people on YouTube are straight black Klansmen or black neo-Nazis or black white supremacists. They're worse. They're no better than white people. And these are the same people that had the audacity to holler about racism and white supremacy when you was exercising white supremacy towards Terrence Crawford. And I think the way some of these people were worshiping Errol Spence, I think it was kind of sickening, and it was very questionable, and it was kind of weird. Like, it was like Errol Spence developed some kind of cult following. Kind of, and it was just kind of weird. It was really weird. You just go back in history. Anybody that Crawford fought, it was never good enough. But then when you look at Errol Spence's resume, it ain't that much, and I mean, it ain't that much more impressive than Terrence Crawford. If you want to get technical, what'll happen is the Errol Spence apologists, they will try to elevate Errol Spence's resume like it's just some stellar resume. Like, when was the last time Errol Spence fought anybody in the top 10 pound per pound? Anybody out of his last X amount of fights? Out of his last 6 or 7 fights? Nobody. Not that I know of. And you could say the same for Terrence Crawford. But at the end of the day, because they want to make Errol Spence look like he just like this stellar, he's fought the best out there. Well, they'll say, well, Danny Garcia was a good fight. And the thing is, once again, Terrence Crawford tried to fight Danny Garcia, didn't want to fight him. They'll say Sean Porter, they'll say Sean Porter was a big win for Errol Spence, even though when Terrence Crawford fought him and stopped him, then all of a sudden they started to trash Sean Porter and say, oh, well, Sean Porter wasn't that good to begin with. And it's kind of funny. If you look at the punch stats with Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter and Sean Porter versus Errol Spence, from what it looks like, Sean Porter landed more punches against Errol Spence than he did Terrence Crawford. But I mean, it's okay. It's okay because you're not allowed to state facts. And it's kind of funny, once again, you just had people really rooting against Terrence Crawford to begin with. People didn't really want this fight to happen. At the end of the day, as much as people want to try to say Terrence Crawford is a duck and all this shit, these dudes didn't really want this fight to happen because they wasn't that sure that Errol Spence was going to win this fight. Like I said before, every time Terrence Crawford fought, they was hoping he would lose. They was hoping he would lose. They was hoping he would lose against Kell Brook, and he whooped on Kell Brook. They was hoping, and they was hoping that he would lose against Sean Porter, and they're gonna be hoping that he lose this fight. Yeah, I know, and that's why I'm calling them out. And I'm gonna make this clear. And some of these dudes that were doing this were people that I supposed to be affiliated with. But I'm gonna say this again. I may be affiliated with the LDBC, but I'm gonna say this once again. I don't check in with nobody. I don't answer to nobody. And I'm gonna make it clear. And I'm gonna say this again. I don't like all them dudes that claim they part of the LDBC. And I'm gonna say this again, and I'm not making this no secret, because some of them don't like me. A lot of them don't like me. But I just want to tell you, I don't give a fuck. And I want you to understand that. And I don't care about your little attitude neither. So I'm just making that clear. And I am saying that. Once again, it was people, like I said, was rooting for Kell Brook to beat Terrence Crawford. And when that didn't happen, then they tried to say Terrence Crawford fought a damaged Kell Brook. Well, if that's the case, then Kell Brook was damaged when Errol Spence fought him. He was coming off a loss. That's fact. So their resumes ain't that far apart. I'm just saying, this dude that Terrence Crawford is fighting is ranked, I think, number 10, at least, at the very least, by all the sanctioning bodies. Terrence Crawford gonna be the favorite because he's the number 1 pound for pound fighter on the planet. Let me explain something to you. Terrence Crawford could be fighting Charlo and people would find something wrong with it, because that's just how they get down. They're lousy human beings, and they're just fake. I just got to keep it a buck, man. They fake. Continue to root against another black man. They got more venom for Terrence Crawford than they do for Canelo or Paulie Malignaggi. Have you seen anybody really making videos calling out Paulie Malignaggi? You ain't hardly heard nobody making no videos calling him out for what he was saying about Devin Haney. You know I did, cause that's how I roll. Because I'm solid like that. But every time you look around, they can make videos talking about Terrence Crawford is scared of Terrence Crawford ain't remotely scared of Errol Spence. Not even one bit. One bit. But this is your black people for you. This is your black people for you, who want to see another black man do bad. I mean, I mean, for real, where was the videos calling Paulie Malignaggi out for saying that and being a racist towards Devin Haney? Dudes wasn't nowhere to be found. But every time you look around, they got something to say about Terrence Crawford. At the end of the day, Terrence Crawford made a business move. That's what you're supposed to do. Man got to feed his family. Sitting up there like waiting for 5 months for these people to decide what they want to do, and then tried to offer him that fake ass offer. But then was shocked when he took it. When he said, "All right, I'll take less money," and they still couldn't broker a deal. I mean, I'm too good. I'm too good at this. I'm too good at this. I'm actually out there. So basically, if Terrence Crawford did leave Errol Spence hanging, well, it's because they had been leaving him hanging for the past few months, and pretty much he did. You know, he moved on. He told Al Heyman that he didn't want to go a whole calendar year without fighting. So, like I said, y'all mad at the man because he decided to do something else. Like I said, Errol Spence was sending all kind of subliminals, talking about I was told my next fight gonna be in Dallas, so I guess he gonna fight dude in Dallas. All kind of hint. Oh, well, if the fight don't happen, it ain't my fault, and all that kind of stuff. Well, so what you saying? You admitting that Al Heyman wasn't gonna make the fight? Is that what you saying, my dude? That's what you saying? That's how you living? That's how you rolling? Okay, cool. Because many of us suspect that. But let's just hope what you've been hearing behind the scenes about Al Heyman is not true. And that after January, a lot of these fighters ain't going to have a home to call home. At least at least as far as, you know, televising their fights and broadcasting their fights, that they ain't going to have a home. Hope it works, man. So we'll see. Maybe Alice gonna figure out a way to get back on HBO. But you gotta ask yourself, why is Al Heyman is beefing with everybody? Gotta ask that question, man. Got beef with everybody. Ain't been coming to fights because people been allegedly trying to serve him lawsuit papers. So that's why he stopped showing up at fights. And then on Friday, you had Max Kellerman congratulate on Max on boxing. He congratulated Errol Spence. He said, "Congratulations to Errol Spence for ducking Terrence Crawford." Like I said, you can't explain logic to people. You can't explain logic and facts to people. Like I said, they had months to put together a deal for Terrence Crawford. Months on top of months. You can sit up there and put a location on hold all you want, but if you don't actually put something there, it doesn't mean anything. That's real talk. You can sit up there and say, like, real talk. You can sit up there and say you got Louis Vuitton bag on layaway, but if you don't go get it out, doesn't mean anything. If you don't make those payments to pay it off so you can get it out, that doesn't mean anything. You could have any, yeah, I got a Gucci jacket on hold. Okay. And keep in mind, you only have so much time to respond, and if you don't respond, then they get to move on. And they didn't respond to Terrence Crawford. So Terrence Crawford had the right to move on. Don't get mad at him because he had a plan B. And to just hear some of these gullible channels making these videos implying that Terrence Crawford didn't really want to fight. Well, you can make an argument that the other side of the street didn't really and never had no intentions on making a fight, because they threw obstacle after obstacle in the way and wanted Terrence Crawford to jump through hoop after hoop after hoop after hoop. And it got to the point to where they were trying to demean him. And once again, you got people that don't want to call that out because they worried about other things. They worried about their views. They worried about their super chats. They worried about all that stuff and don't have no journalistic integrity. So I'm just saying. Terrence Crawford did the right thing by moving on. But y'all have the information that y'all need. I'm finna check out. I'll be back with more later on. I'm out.